You know, a lot of us, we have a lot of information, but we don't know what to do with the information. It's just information. If it's just information sitting inside of your being and you're not actively doing anything about it, then that's all it is. It's just information. So David's going to give us a little clarity. I present to you David Hurt, or better known as Tahuti.
More and more days, day by day. Good morning and welcome to the Institute. Today is going to talk about consciousness. Like I want to do most of the times I'm talking, I usually give a little review on the latest movie I saw. I don't know how many people just saw The Equalizer. Anybody seen The Equalizer yet?
That's the one.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, I heard.
Fabulous movie about consciousness. Talk about consciousness and being aware of who you are, what you are, and becoming more aware of what you can do. And the brother, he was off the chart. Off the chart. Just like each one of you are off the chart. Can't even measure all the powers and wonders that you have within you. You haven't even started to hit the tip of the iceberg. And everybody here loves themselves, especially because when you put it at your work, there's a vibration that you pick up that you already had, that you become more aware of it. And the more that you come, the more you become aware of how great you really are. And that's what we endeavor to do up here at the Institute. Bring you into contact with who you really are. I will use several different concepts to give you different perspectives of that. I practice astrology, so I use astrology as my base most of the time and go from there. One of the consciousness things we're going to talk about are senses. Everybody has senses, you taste, smell, hear. But are you aware that you have 20 senses? Most of us aren't consciously aware of it, but all of us use it all the time. Every day we use all 12 of them. Touch, the sense that I'd like to start with is the sense of touch. And let's see if you can go with astrology to see who you are. When you're one with the cosmos, totally one with the cosmos, you are asleep, totally unconscious. You're not aware of anything because you are everything. There's nothing else to be aware of. So there you are, asleep. If you were to go out, let's say, this point is you, and we're going to ask you to exercise your imagination more than you're thinking. Because that point isn't really there, even though that's who you are. And when you go out from yourself, as we want to do many thousands, hundreds of thousands of years ago, you go out into the cosmos, but you're still unconscious because you haven't come up against anything. When you return, on your return point, in astrology, we call this your ascendant. That's the moment that you were born. You take your first breath, that you wake up. Even though you still don't know that you're awake, pretty much like you are in the cosmos. When you were in the womb, you weren't aware of a lot of things consciously. When you come back and you touch this point that you left on, you wake up, just like waking up in the morning. What is that sense? I'm going to suggest to you to look at it. It's a sense of touch. It's a sense of touch. Okay, if you touch, like if I touch this cloth right here, it feels kind of cold. If you touch a chair, it might be cool. But that coolness that you feel has nothing to do with the sense of touch. That's your sense of temperature, hot and cold, when things are warm or hot. Feelings get in there too, and when you start touching things, because you've been around a while, you touched a lot of things in your life. And everything that you touched gave you a little more information to who you are in defining your boundaries of what you are. And that's how we start out as little children, little babies. In this movie, Denzel Washington looked like a guy who worked in a Home Depot type place. You know, just a regular guy doing things, and he helped people out, you know, he liked helping people, blah, 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 blah. He couldn't sleep at night. The person that did this is a really good movie. is not sleeping at night. You're not at ease with your astral body. And your astral body, I don't know how much you're aware of that, but that contains all the desires you've ever had, not just in this life, all your lifetimes. All the things that you've learned in your memory are contained in your etheric body, the ether body. I'm just giving you an overview of what the human being is made of. You have a physical body, and everybody says, oh, I know what that is, because I can touch it and feel it. But what you're touching and feeling is not really your physical body, that's your mental body. But your physical body is just as invisible as the ether body, which you can't see, and the astral body, which you can't see, and your ego, which you can't see. But when you put all those things together, you get this wonderful picture of these beautiful women that I have in front of me. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, again. That's coming to consciousness of what you see, which is another one of your senses, which we haven't got to, but we're still talking about touch. This sense of touch, what is that? What word can you use to define that? You know it's not the temperature. And this is the challenge that you get when you touch something. You want to focus on one thing, but in order to do that, you have to use another sense. And so you can't just use one sense to figure out what the other sense is. You have to use all of them together, and you're able to do it. But that kind of happens not simultaneously, but there's a rhythm and order to spirit, which brings us to the concept of what truth is and what consciousness is. In the cosmos, there's a rhythm. There's a rhythm that we have when we're in that sleep state. And you have that no matter what. When you wake up, when you go out of yourself, and you come back and you meet yourself, now you have the choice to choose any rhythm that you want. And everybody does. And in astrology, that's what we call, the zodiac. We have 12 different signs that goes along with each one of your senses. Each sign matches a sense. And depending on what sign you have rising, according to the time you were born, then that will set up a rhythm that you live in your life. You'll attract those kind of energies all the time to help you orient where you are, who you are, what you are. So let's just go with the natural zodiac and say that this person has Aries rising. So they'll attract things that wake them up all the time. And they'll be very aggressive and take the initiative in a lot of things, all things being considered. That's the natural thing. There are things that can change that, alter that in consciousness, and that's part of growing when you start touching stuff. If you touch something that doesn't feel good, that gives you some more information. If you touch something that feels good, you want to do that again. It gives you more information. This is all involved in the sense of touch. Now, touch can be objective. When you first touch something, you don't know what it is. But if it feels good, it goes into your etheric body, so let's repeat this again. Touch also incorporates intimacy. And this is part of being in the spirit world, coming out of it. Because once you come out of it, having that sense of touch, you want to get back into it. Because when you're out of touch with yourself, it doesn't feel good. And so you have this draw that's always pulling you back to the spirit. Even people who say they don't believe in spirit, they want to touch everything. So let's imagine that you're walking along one day and a friend that you thought had died, and you see them on the street, and they come up and talk to you. What's the first thing you do to that person? You touch them because you want to make sure they're there. What's going on? I thought you were dead. Reminds me of a story with Yeshua. After he was crucified, and then Mary, a female, said that she saw him. The brother said, I don't believe it. Yeah, that was just saying. Until one of them, I think 10 of them saw him. And then one guy didn't. He said, I still don't believe it until I can touch him. So this shows you how important touch is. It's the first thing that we have to deal with. And it deals with objectivity and intimacy at the same time. So what is that? Let's look at that. Go to the doctor. Tell them you don't feel good. And this will introduce the second sense. It's called life sense. Everybody wakes up in the morning and you feel good or you don't. That's the kind of sense we're talking about, the sense of life. Now, when you go to the doctor, you say, I don't feel good. The doctor says, well, what does that mean? I'm going to help you have to know what it is. Well, he has to ask you 10,000 questions. And then he starts probing in your body all over the place. And then through the sense of touch, he finds something that doesn't feel like right. And then you say, oh yeah, that's it. Sense of touch is coming in. And now, while he's touching you as a doctor professionally, he has to be careful where he touches you. If he touches you in the wrong place, he's crossed the borderline. Now he's gone from being objective and professional into an intimate situation. This is the challenge we have with the sense of touch, even before we go to the doctors and we're dealing with other people. Can't touch. Look, but don't touch. It's how all these things come into play. Sense of life. Make it towards. You're still touching. Everybody wants to touch. It's an objective thing and it's an intimate thing. You have to decide which one it is. Now, in consciousness, when you're touching something for the first time, it feels different than you, even though that's who you are. This is part of yourself that you don't know. This is what all life, human strivings are about. Coming into contact with touch of who you are, being in touch with who you are, what you are. You can only be tickled by something that is foreign in you. And this is in your consciousness, because nothing is disconnected from what you think it is. So you can't tickle yourself. You could try it. All the places that you're ticklish, touch it all you want, it's not going to make you laugh. Feather in the same place as somebody else touching that place, you're losing control. That's because that sense of touch is different to you. It's foreign. You have made a separation where there is none, but it's a separation nevertheless. And this is what we get into with the sense of touch. You have to become aware of that, going out from yourself and coming back into yourself. This is about what truth is all about. We're talking about time. What does time have to do with all that? Let's imagine a clock. The clock set at noon. And because you're a human being, you can choose any time you want. Say, well, I want it to be 4 o'clock. So you set up your rhythm. It's 4 o'clock. Everybody else in the world is working at noon. So wherever you go, you're going to be 4 hours ahead of everybody. And they're going to wonder, what are you doing here? It's not dinner time. But you think it is. Because you're still in tune with the universe, even though you consciously set yourself apart from the universe. And these are the challenges that we have being human, becoming conscious. It's all a part of becoming conscious because you don't know it again. That's why it's important. When the child touches, makes a big difference if the child is being fed from the bottle, because everybody knows the difference between what a bottle feels like and what a breast feels like. Big difference. Children that are put into those incubation chambers because they have some kind of illness and nobody can touch them. When they grow up later on, it remains to be seen. I don't know if you guys have done a study on it yet, but they're going to be very different than somebody who was touched when they were a child, and nourished and loved. Big difference in raising our children. And this is another